Welcome to another edition of 10 Count from Hollywood Smoke in Santa Monica. I'm Steve Kim, joined by Michael Montero and Doug Fischer. Guys, November 5th, mark your calendars. It's going to happen, and don't call it a comeback. Literally don't, because Manny Pacquiao's back.
You can't.
He never really left.
He's on his usual schedule.
He is.
Right.
Twice a year. The question is very simple, guys. Who should he fight, but in reality, who will he fight?
Well, of course, we'd like to see him fight Terence Crawford, but that's not going to happen. He's going to fight Vargas, Jessie Vargas. And you could actually make an argument here that in some ways it's just as marketable of a fight as Terence Crawford would be, because Crawford's last pay-per-view did maybe 40,000 buys with Postal, and Vargas is a Mexican-American. He has fought Bradley. He's had an exciting knockout in New York over Ali. This would be in Vegas. The Mexican-American fans travel well to Vegas. You could make an argument.
Well, wait a minute. Here's the issue, though. I think Crawford, again, Doug, I don't know if you agree. I think you do. Isn't Crawford much more of a perceived threat than Vargas to Pacquiao, though? That's the issue.
I think if you did a poll of 100 boxing writers or 100 insiders, I think more than half would give Bud a very good shot at not just beating Pacquiao, but maybe knocking him out. I mean, Pacquiao, I would too. I would look at Pacquiao versus Crawford as a real retirement fight, because Crawford would beat him up physically and would finish him.
That Monday after the Crawford-Postal fight, I went to Wildcard and interviewed Freddie Roach. And Freddie obviously has a vested interest. And he told me on the record for Boxing Scene, he goes, Steve, I see the way that guy runs around, the way he prances around the ring, and the way I'd have to train Manny for this particular fight in the Philippines with the senatorial duties. Do I really want Manny to really face that yet? In other words, if I'm going to fight Floyd Mayweather III, why not just fight Floyd Mayweather Jr. for a lot
more money?
Because the risk versus reward. And also, I'm hearing that Crawford may ask for a lot of money. That might blow up the deal. And here's the other issue, though. I believe, and again, don't kill the messenger, I think May of 2017, you know what rematch is coming, guys?
Yeah, we've known that all along.
Yeah,
we've known that all along.
too.
Yeah.
Floyd's being very, very smart and staying on the sidelines in 2016. Going back to the whole USADA thing with IVgate, all of it. He's sitting back and letting Manny wear himself out even further. It's very, very smart business on Floyd's part. That's definitely happening next year. I hope Floyd wins again so we don't get a rubber match, because that could happen.
Wow.
All right.
But the reason why I made the point,
Waterworld 2 and 3.
it could happen. I'm telling you. But the reason why I made the point with Vargas is because of everything you guys are saying. Crawford is the bigger threat. And I think at this point, Manny's not fighting for legacy. He's fighting for money. So I think that's why they're going to go with Vargas.
Vargas will be very agreeable. He won't go crazy with the money demands.
Right. He was willing to go over to the UK for Brooke before that fell apart, right?
And just think about pushing the pay-per-view, because Pacquiao's last pay-per-view wasn't great. By his standards, it wasn't great.
They lost money, too, on that one.
Well, of course, having to pay the, Manny's guarantee, but Crawford for the time being is not media friendly.
Exactly.
Jessie Vargas loves everybody. This guy loves
part
to be
of the
interviewed.
media now. He's doing broadcasting.
He's doing our job. I mean, he appreciates it. He appreciates us.
He gets
it.
He's
a good-natured dude. But but it's also him. He's always been that way. Before he even had a name, he was that way. So it's you have somebody who's going to cooperate with the promotion.
Well, speaking of which, I would ask Bob Arum what he thinks about all this, but he's basically boycotting the boxing media. I don't hey, listen.
Your fault.
I'm not going to talk. I am not going to talk to your boxing media anymore. I'm not. Well, Bob, first of all, I miss you. Call me, please. But that's the other issue. You talk with more fans via the email than anybody in our
Social
business.
Media. Yeah.
Do you get the sense, regardless of how Manny looked on April 9th against Tim Bradley, do you think fans still want to see Manny Pacquiao, though?
The buzz is not there for him. I mean, he's been around. Listen, the guy's been a pro for more than 20 years, and he's been on the world-class stage since 2000, 2001. So we've had 15 years of this very special talent, but he's no longer special anymore.
The
thrill is gone, and he's not able to physically be the Pac-Man anymore. He's not there spiritually. He's not there psychologically, and he's definitely not there physically because of all the wear and tear on his body.
Michael, there was a lot of talk of a couple of Haymon clients, Danny Garcia and Adrian Broner, perhaps getting into the mix. I'm not going to lie to you. Those fights, I said, you know what? Sign me up for some of that. But also, we talked about this before. The fact that those guys, for whatever reason, turned down that deal to face Manny Pacquiao at this age, I just really have doubts about that detente between Haymon and Arum.
Absolutely. You just look at the opportunity that would be there for a Danny Garcia, for an Adrian Broner, who could use every opportunity he could get right now.
Absolutely.
He's got a lot of kids to feed. You know, turning down, what was it, $4 million? It was, I can't
$4 million plus an upside. I'm not so sure that it was.
Plus the money that comes after that. You're talking potentially $10+ million against maybe Mayweather, because if you beat Manny, Floyd wants to come back for number 50 next year. They've been hip-pocketing guys like Garcia all along. So I just don't understand it. It makes me wonder about the contracts with Al and how all that really works.
Yeah.
And just the mentality of these fighters not seizing opportunities like that.
They've either become too complacent or they're more businessman than fighter, because Manny Pacquiao is a legacy fight that moves you into a new stratosphere in the boxing world, but also financially.
Absolutely.
It just doesn't make any sense to me why a young fighter would pass up on this, particularly in Adrian Broner, because he's been in tough. But ask yourself this: who's the best guy Adrian Broner has ever beat? Is it Paulie Malignaggi? And that was a split decision?
Gavin Reese.
Like, think of it. Who's the best guy he's beat?
Daniel Ponce de Leon.
Yeah, I mean, he's fought some
Did
tough
he beat
cats
him?
like Maidana and Sean Porter, but he lost those fights. The best guy he beat on paper might be
Paulie
Malignaggi. You know, given that's your legacy so far, why wouldn't you want an opportunity against a bona fide first ballot future Hall of Famer?
Right, and as it relates to Manny Pacquiao, I've said this for a while, maybe about a year. I think with Pacquiao, Mayweather, Marquez, Cotto, Klitschko, they were great for boxing. But, you know, again, what's that old Sizzline commercial, move over bacon, make way for something younger? I'm sorry, when I hear talks of like Marquez versus Cotto, I'm like, okay, come on. I don't need to do 401k.
On pay-per-view.
On pay-per-view. That's a 401k fight. And I get the sense.
If you've got 20 years plus, even the great immortal Bernard Hopkins, who's got way more than 20 years, it's time to go.
Yeah.
It's just time to go for your own health and safety.
But Manny Pacquiao is not going. He's coming back November 5th, supposedly, at the Thomas & Mack. On behalf of Doug Fischer and Michael Montero, this is Steve Kim. This has been another edition of 10 Count.